So, I don't know how to describe this. This place is like, it's like raining in kind of like a sandy snow, thunder snow sand kind of way.
Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane blowing? No, we're in a fucking desert. What the fuck's up with this goddamn weather?
Also, it's kind of like the sun's up there in kind of like a sun-setting midnight way. You know, it's
one of those high noon sunsets.
You know, and then it's also kind of like you look at the landscape of where we are, and it's like really wide open in a sort of claustrophobic way.
It's so wide open, I feel boxed in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it here.
I don't know how we ended up here. This has been interesting.
It's a bad trip city, man.
What kind of trip is it?
I have a game this time around. I recognize it well.
I would describe this as kind of vibing off a Huntsville camping type trip.
Oh, I see what you did there. And I hate it.
Yeah, well,
kind of like this story.
I started to hate it when I realized how often it brought up the word started.
I started to start.
This water is like hydrating me in this is a glass full of sand kind of way.
Yeah.
But like a liquid sand.
Yes.
It's like a hurricane in a glass, but also a drought. It was the best of times. It was the worst of trips. It was the best of trips. It was the worst of trips.
I've had trips that can be described as that. My experiences with ayahuasca have been that.
Oh, boy.
If you've ever seen Jacob's Ladder, it was a lot like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, okay, that makes sense now, because, like, Jacob's Ladder is a great movie where terrible things happen.
Oh, yes.
But, it doesn't...
If you can't let go, your angels will appear as demons, strip the life away from you. It's a lot like that. Overall, 8 out of 10. Would recommend.
What, Jacob's Ladder?
Oh, no, Jacob's Ladder's the ayahuasca, 8 out of 10. Jacob's Ladder's a 10 out of 10. It's probably my favorite movie ever made.
We're kind of lowballing Jacob's Ladder here. No, it's
oh God, no. It's one of my all-time favorite films.
Doesn't have a patch on Silent Hill Downcomings. Or is it Downcomings or is it Home Pour? Whichever. Yeah, I think it's Home Pour.
Yeah.
The one that's just straight up plagiarizing Jacob's Ladder in a terrible way. If people made fun of what's it called, Deadly Premonition, for just being Twin Peaks. No.
No, that's its selling point.
That's its selling point. It's Deadly Premonition is Twin Peaks, but better. Significantly. Oh boy, so...
It's the Twin Peaks that eats like a meal.
Let's read Huntsville Camping Trip.
Do we have to? I'd rather just talk about nothing forever.
Well, we're like, there's nothing in this landscape, but there's kind of a lot of stuff here.
It's infinitely better in a terrible kind of way.
I went camping about 3 weekends ago in the Huntsville National Forest in Texas. Me and 3 friends that came home for the weekend. They're all in college, and usually we all get together at least once a year. Old friends from high school. For the camping trip, we plan to go backpacking deep into in the forest, live off the fish that we catch and animals that we trap.
Like common bears.
Like Russian bear. We have been doing this for a while in Texas and in numerous places, Arizona, Colorado. If anyone is familiar with the Spanish Peaks there, New Mexico. So we're pretty much used to anything you'd encounter out there. This is like one of like the best setups for a classical creepypasta that's coming out around the era that this is coming out, like pre-No Sleep, like post-invention of creepypasta Wikia, pre-No Sleep. This is like peak opening for a story.
went to Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico. We were pretty much ready to deal with anything you'd see out there. Chalupacabras, drunk Indians, and call them skinwalkers.
Are you
all of it?
Are you doing baby cakes?
Almost.
Listen, good.
Sometimes I go to Huntsville and sing songs to the Huntsville about the Huntsville. Once, a baby doll clapped.
Man, it's just like people said, look like a giant baby doll.
I'm the baby doll. I am the world.
But if you've read Mr. Widemouth or Barbie.avi or maybe even Normal Porn for Normal People, all of those stories, all of them
are
good,
better uses of your time than this.
For sure. Kind of have that same beginning, like a decent amount of specificity, but also conversational and also casual. It's just fun.
You know enough about your characters and where you're going. You know that they're experienced outdoorsmen. You know that they do this quite regularly.
Yeah, it's important.
And, you know, they're good friends, and they get together wherever the heck they've been doing, because they made a promise to kill you.
Listen.
But then they forgot.
At some point, we need to get together and do something. I kind of got high and forgot what our goal was here.
Something about a clown and a sewer.
Oh, we're supposed to go to the underground circus. Listen,
that's
guys,
right.
Let's go to the underground circus.
Tom Waits, what are you doing here? When did you become a carnival barker for the underground circus?
Come on down, the underground circus. Officially endorsed by Tom Waits.
The evil clown's been drinking. My neckties asleep. Anyways.
Man, what if you imagine instead of, who played Pennywise originally?
Tim Curry.
Imagine if instead of Tim Curry, it was Tom Waits. I like the reality we're in, but I kind of want to see that timeline.
You can take any movie and replace a character with Tom Waits, and it's infinitely better. The Phantom Menace. Replace Jar Jar Binks with Tom Waits.
Ooh, damn, that's strong. That's sensible.
No CG, no nothing. It's just Tom Waits. He's just leaning up against a tree.
He's just got a white shirt on and some blue jeans.
Yeah, smoking a cigarette. Still got the pork pie hat.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you boys say you need to get to the other side of the planet.
You could do that with a lot of stuff. You could do that with Homeward Bound, but instead one of the dogs is just Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, yeah.
Oh, God. There's nothing in the rule book that says Tom Waits can't be a dog.
That's it. Air Bud with Tom Waits.
It's so stupid. And then I got
nothing in the rule books that says Tom Waits can't play basketball.
I'm Tom Waits. I'm a basketball playing talking dog.
What is this thing, anyways?
Then you could instead of having Kill Bill, Tom Waits is just the main character in Kill Bill.
Yeah. None of the script has changed.
No,
he is still pregnant with David Carradine's baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He still trains with Gordon Liu.
I just want to say this out loud, everybody. Please send us your Tom Waits getting impregnated by David Carradine stories.
I was writing one, but then I choked at the end. Too soon. I made myself sad. The fact that we're lingering so long on this bit, one, it's good. Two, we really don't want to go to where it's coming next.
Everybody raise your glasses to old Choke and Stroke.
Here.
To old Choke and Stroke.
He was a good stalker. Let's drink another.
Good sand.
So refreshing. All right, it was my turn to pick where we.
Yeah, it's your turn. Start reading.
Yeah, it's my turn to start reading the story. I don't wanna. So I chose Huntsville. More accurately, it's Huntsville, New Waverly, if you're some sort of camping snob. So we drove up there. Wait, So we drive up there, park our car, missing a comma, park our car in a camping spot, and start walking off into the forest.
I parked my car at a camping spot the other day.
We had some laughs along the way, everyone catching up with each other's lives. We walked until it started to get dark. I knew kind of way. Set up camp where we stopped. Everyone gathered wood to make a fire and set our tent up. And we do what we always do. Try to scare each other with weird stories.
I like
Tom Waits in various movies where he doesn't belong.
No, so that's a weird thing though. Like, have you ever gone camping and like told scary stories to friends in adulthood?
Yes, but the stories are progressively more mundane.
Like, I would say, like, not try and scare each other with weird stories, but like, sure, you want to tell weird stories. But I don't know, just a nitpick.
Then he opened the mailbox and he reached inside, and inside the mailbox was a summons for jury duty.
Oh man, a friend I know is going through jury duty right now. $20 for an 8-hour day.
Oh God,
it's fucking criminal. Guess how much it is? $5 for parking.
Oh my fucking God.
Ridiculous.
Are they at least gonna fucking feed him?
No, it's terrible. I can't believe they get away with that.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. See, these are the stories we tell each other around the campfire in adulthood.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's fucking horrifying.
That's the difference. Is like you have the no sleep author telling a campfire story. I went to my mailbox, and inside was another mailbox, and now I think we're all doomed. And then you have the other one that's just much more mundane.
And I'm going to put the flag up.
Yes. Part 2. I put the flag up. Now I wish I had.
I wish I hadn't.
Then you have the other side, the Ashcan kid side of just like, I went into the mailbox and then I got jury duty, and then the jury duty, it sucked. It was terrible.
It sucked. We didn't even get all the clues, and it was a fucking murder case, and I don't even know what happened.
And it was a murder case, and a young girl died, and now I'm just sad because
the girl died, and it was pretty weird and sad.
Yeah, and she had a good home life, and then it was all real. It just gets. Yeah. It's just like, man, it was depressing.
We're just gonna hang here, and talk about this. We're gonna read the next paragraph.
What, you said you're going to read it, or I am?
I said I don't want to.
Oh no, that's fine. Around this time, we started to smell something very faint. It was noticeable, but not overbearing. We couldn't put our finger on what it was, so we just carried on. Mike had to go piss, and he walked off into the forest. A second later, he came back running, piss all down his jeans like he'd missed really bad. Immediately, we all cracked up and threw some jokes at him. Hey, look, it's piss on his pants Mikey. What a dumb.
Pants Mikey. No, guys, you don't understand. Went off behind the trees, and there was this tall, sharp-fingered, skinny fucker there. He whipped out his dick and he pissed my pants. When I ran away, he said, "Go ahead and run. No one will ever believe you."
No, the real thing is that he goes there and then he just like pees on a mushroom that's like really bouncy, and it just splashes all back up, and he doesn't notice until it's too late. Like, he's got like 3 seconds of stream on his pants before he realizes.
And by then it's just too late. You got to commit to the bit.
Immediately we all cracked up and threw some jokes at him. Then we noticed he was as white as a ghost, trying to catch his breath. He started screaming for us to follow him and runs off. We noticed that he was white as a ghost, which is weird because Mike is black. He was wearing white face.
They always told us that once you went black, you could never come back. Well, we found the cure.
Oh, that's a terrible no-sleep story.
Unlike the rest of No Sleep stories, which are shining jewels of outstanding achievement in the literary field.
I got elected Prime Minister of Canada, and now pictures of leaked of me in blackface, and now I wish they hadn't.
What if Justin Trudeau was secretly a black man and he wore whiteface, and this was just a few times we caught him slipping?
Ooh, there was like one.
He could never get elected prime minister as a black man.
I think it was one parody news site. I think it might have been. I don't think it was Onion, but it was like rare.
No, because it'd be funny.
Rare photo of Justin Trudeau leaks not in blackface. Oh boy, what a hero!
Yeah. Anyways,
he's another Canadian hero. Him and Chris.
No, Jericho.
That's the difference between like a soft R and a hard R.
Yeah,
is ending in a Jericho or a
Chris Dan. We don't say that name here anymore. Okay.
We all get serious.
Someone brought up talking about Chris Redacted. Oh God, no, we don't talk about him. We never talk about him again. We get all serious and go follow him, not knowing what the problem was. Only having mysterious text that the dogs were in the enclosed pool area. God damn it! Oh, no, we heard a faint scream. It was me, realizing that we were talking about Chris Benoit the entire time. We start to hear a scream, crying in the distance. In the direction we were running, it was pitch black away from the camp, and Mike had the only flashlight. We left ours at the camp, and he had his from his trip taking a piss. It did him no good, so we figured why bring ours. So at this stage, we didn't have much choice but to follow the light, which was frantically pointing here and there in front of us. I like that little detail just about, they're trying to follow the light. It's the only source they have of which direction. It's just all over the place. It's a powerful visual.
Yeah. The screen gets closer. I should say, like, we keep hearing about Mike, but we don't really have any personality traits for Mike, so if something...
Except he's a fucking piss-pants coward.
He's a piss-pants coward, but if...
yeah.
Well, he's not even a piss-pants... Yeah, he's not even like a piss pants coward. We're like inserting that into the story because we're
he's just a big tinkle diaper baby.
Look at Mike urination over here. It's like I pee, guys. It's like we don't pee 'cause we're men.
Yeah, we're men.
Hold it in.
Right up in we keep it in our kidneys, try to get them to man up into adultness.
So we don't really get any character traits out of this, which is kind of a big flaw of creepypastas around this time. There was like this conversational aspect, but they forgot to give characters personalities, and the ones that are successful tend to give their characters more personality. Even like with something like the Anansi Goatman story, like the characters that are brought up in there, they're given like brief little amounts of like character moments, you know what I mean?
I will say this in its defense. If we took the time to establish certain character personality traits, we might have to have them do something interesting with those.
Yeah.
And it's not about the characters. This is an event-driven story. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It shouldn't be an event-driven story. It should be a character-driven story of 5 guys go out into the woods and then weird shit starts happening. So like when that happens, it should be like a buddy story where it's like the events and the characters are driving it. So it's setting up to be both, but it ends up being focused around the events.
Yeah, which, I would appreciate that in light of this story because the events are so fucking batcrap crazy.
Yes, precisely. The screen gets closer and Mike starts to slow down. Then we notice a ratty old cabin that looked like it was abandoned, except for a faint light that we could see from one of the old mildew-covered windows. The crying was intense. Whoever it was couldn't breathe enough to let out a full yell. We all followed Mike up to the front door, and we could all hear the crying from inside. As soon as he knocked on the door, it stopped. So, I don't know how to... Mike becomes the brave one now?
I ain't no pee-pants coward. I ain't no tinkle diaper baby. I'm taking charge of this whole shit show. So, He's the only character that we've actually bothered to name, so he becomes our de facto fucking activating force in all of this.
Yes, and that's kind of the issue. It's just like me and my 4 friends, Mike, and then some other people.
Yeah,
Like-
Mike and these other guys.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I keep going into baby cakes mode, and I don't know why.
Listen, he's just kind of like this philosopher voice.
Yeah, it's from my deep thoughts.
You know, you sometimes just go and cabin in the woods.
Like to
Go
go
to-
walking through the woods at night.
Go to
Watch the
sacrifice
stars
12
put on their
virgins.
makeup. It was the brain fuckler. I knew it. Just fuckling the shit out of my whole camping trip. Alright. We all waited and heard really heavy footsteps walking fast to the door. There was a giant slam against the door and the sound of a bolt unlocking. And nothing. We waited for a bit, knocked a few more times, but still nothing happened. We walked around the house. There was no fucking way any of us were leaving each other's side, and noticed a window which was a good way up. Alex, who we just now have a name for, took a deep breath and asked us to give him a boost so we could see inside. Me and Mike lifted him up to the window. We watched him brush away some dirty webs from the window and place his face against the window to try and see something. It shattered immediately. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin!
Oh God, yeah, no. It's, what are you doing at Stone Cold Steve Austin's Huntsville cabin?
Welcome to the Broken Skull Ranch. What? Mi casa? What? Su casa? What? I unbolted the door. Come on in and crack open a Steve Weiser, you mealy mouthed son of a bitch.
Oh boy.
My Stone Cold gets worse every time we do
It's perfect. I don't know. It was perfect.
It's gonna have to work. Okay. Well, now I lost my place because of Stone Cold. I got excited for a second.
We watched.
And I still can't find it.
Alex took a deep. Yeah.
Alright. Alex took a deep breath and asked us. Oh, yeah. He did that one. We watched him brush away. That was the end of the paragraph. I'll just go ahead and do this next one.
Okay.
There was a quick beat, and suddenly he breathed in real fast and let out a loud scream. Then he fell back from the window, screaming bloody murder all the way. We tried to calm him down, but he was hysterical. His bloody murder routine is one of the funniest fucking things you've ever heard in your life. But you really had to be there. I can't even describe it.
Look, I don't want, you just gotta see Alex's show.
Yeah, you just gotta see this. The bloody murder bit is hysterical.
Alex Kugelbopoulos, in his HBO special, Bloody Murder.
We went to him, but he started to shake. What? Punch. What? Kick. What? Cuss. You name it. And then he took off towards the camp.
None of us wanted to be separated, so we all ran close behind him. We caught up to him and grabbed him and set him down. We took him and did things to him and his wiener. Like, they just say him a bunch. It's like really clear that this person didn't edit the story.
We grabbed him and we caught him and we set him down.
It sounds like a rapper trying to force a bunch of rhymes.
Yeah, but it's just...
Sir.
None of these words work, so it's just him.
I don't know how to tell you this. You can't rhyme the word him with him. I'm not saying that to the author of this story. I'm saying that to the fictional rapper I just invented. The fire was dying, so I grabbed some nearby wood we collected, added it to the fire. I'm going to read that again, just to be sure it's the story.
No, it's all wrong. You are correct for that.
The fire was dying, so I grabbed some nearby wood that we collected, added it to the fire. My hands were shaking, knees weak, arms are heavy, and I had to do something. I went back to Alex, and we all tried to calm him down. He wouldn't. He kept screaming and was breathing so hard that he eventually fainted.
What?
All of us are terrified now, and we all kept that fire high until sunrise.
The flame rises.
The sun rises. The flame rises. Yes, the sun rises every morning. Periodically, Alex kept waking up, screaming just like before. By sunrise, he was up and looked catatonic, just mumbling to himself and whimpering. So that's a big plot point in this story, is that Alex sees something and then makes him...
He saw Stone Cold. He was so fucking starstruck.
Would you say that he was stunned?
He was.
He gets stunned by something and doesn't know how.
And it left him stone cold.
Yes, just stone cold catatonic.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is a good premise. Like, the skeleton of the story just works.
Whoa. You never said there was a skeleton in this story.
Yeah, it's about to get boned.
I don't like it. It's my life's mission to turn every skeleton off. I just kept moving butt to himself over and over again.
What?
Oh, there was that period of time wherever I heard the word "what," I would just whimper submissively because I knew there was no end in the chant.
No.
Although it went on for a decade.
I'm just going to start doing a podcast. What?
What?
Can't say what on my podcast. What?
What? Why? Me and Mike decided to go look at the cabin now that it was daylight. We searched where we thought it was, except there was nothing there. Nothing at all. It's like I have no cabin at all. No cabin at all. The indistinct smell from last night had grown into a very strong smell of something dead, something stale. Like this story. Oh, got him. That's a wrap. We headed back to the film. There's still apparently more words after that.
Future Brandon, please insert the sound of, like, a gunshot and then air horns. and like, it's just MLG bullshit, like the little Call of Duty sound.
That's all we need right there. That's too much work. We headed back to the camping site. When we got there, we found Alex had chewed into the sides of his face and swallowed so much blood he was throwing up. John was at his back. It's another character we're just now getting the name of. So we got Alex, Mike, John, and the narrator now.
Is that John 3:16?
Yeah.
Or is it...
God so loved the world. What? The world. What? El mundo. What? The planet. He gave his only begotten son. It looked like he was... Oh, sorry. Swallowed so much. John was at his back and looked like he was about to die from exhaustion. I guess we all looked that way. I just didn't notice until I saw his face. Alex said quietly that we need to believe now. I said what because we didn't hear him. He said now. I said what.
So like, Alex had chewed the sides of his face, the side of his face, so much that he was swallowing blood and throwing it up.
How is he swallowing all the blood if he chewed holes into the sides of his face? Wouldn't it just come pouring out?
And then after all of this, he's also catatonic, and then he's like, yeah, we need to leave.
Yeah, I've had enough of this shit. Alex chewed holes into the side of his face like he was always talking about. Oh, Alex, he would always say, yeah, you know, I'm tired of people interrupting me every time I'm having a good meal, asking how the food is. I figured I'd just chew a window into the side of my mouth, and so I just say, look for yourself.
You know, that's the tech. It's also just weird pacing. Like, he has to slowly recover. It can't just be like from catatonic to
self-mastication.
And then he's like, you know what, we just need to get out of here is what I'm saying.
Well, now that I got these holes chewed into the side of my face, I did everything I needed to do out here. It's time to go.
Yeah. Look,
I got what I needed to get done.
Look, I think we all learned a valuable lesson here. What is that? What's that, Alex? You know,
don't go to Steve Austin's cabin.
My face doesn't taste as good as I thought it would. And you know, coming out here really allowed me
to perspective.
You know, just had to explore that route.
Yeah.
We all started to pack up the tent. It started to rain really heavily. It was about noon, and the sky started to grow really dark. Alex started to go into a panic. He was already catatonic. Why is he?
He's just having all the emotions.
It's like, look, guys.
It's a busy day for Alex.
You know, catatonic, hungry for your own cheek, quietly nervous, wanted to go off to himself. Look, guys, I haven't jacked off in like 12 hours. I got to crank one out. Goes into a panic attack.
I can't do it with all these fucking animals in nature and trees watching.
He goes from a panic attack, and then he's like, you know what? I've been meaning to say this. Gets down on one knee and then just proposes to John. John rejects him.
Divorces him halfway through the proposal.
You know, I wasn't ever feeling this. I'm not gay. You're a homo. Why would you even humor me?
You're gay for even entertaining the thought. Why'd you even let me finish?
He picks up a stone, starts stoning John to death. And then immediately he gets back down. He gets on his knees and starts praying to God. I'm sorry for what I've done. Please forgive me.
Stoning is for the infidel. You have to throw the gays off the roof.
You're right.
That's very haram. You have to do this in the halal fashion.
It depends on if you're... I mean, like, Alex, is Alex a good Muslim or a good Christian? Actually, he's probably neither. He's Well, he's already practicing acts of cannibalism, so he's pretty much out on all the holy books right there. You know what? Maybe he's both. Maybe he's really bipolar, so maybe he's worshiping both religions.
And I mean, you know, and right now he swallowed all that blood, and that's not kosher, so he's out there.
Is it? Well, yeah, I suppose so. Like, if he slit his own throat and started drinking his own blood, that would be kosher, right?
Yes.
If he slits his own throat, starts doing the chant, and then drinks his own blood as he's dying, then that's kosher. As long as he dies afterwards. If he survives, then it wasn't kosher.
Yeah, no, then got to throw the whole thing out. It's an abomination.
You know, at that point, it's just gross.
You know, he's pulling off his own foreskin at this point. It's just busy day for Alex.
We're getting really fucking weird here.
Is it us? Are we the ones that are getting weird here?
He went and grabbed a large stick, Giggity, and yelled at us to leave it and leave now, or he'd knock us out and drag us all out there himself. Melodramatic. That is.
Give him the stick! No, don't give him the stick!
This is some damn soap opera shit.
Yeah. He grabbed the stick and told everyone to leave it.
Mike started to yell at him, and they started to fight. We broke up.
That's sad. Oh.
And finished packing. And then...
Wait, the stick? I thought we were going to leave it.
We broke it up and started finishing packing, and then he started to make his way back home. Make our way back. Making my way back home. Huntsville camping trip is weird.
Yeah, so it's sad that they broke up. That's all I can say right now. It's just been a trying time for Alex here.
It's just been a cayenne time.
Indeed. After a little while, we arrived at the creek we crossed the previous day. Only it was... Wait, I think we missed something. Did we?
Nope.
About high noon getting dark.
Does that happen?
Okay, yeah.
No, that didn't happen in this. What?
Yeah, we just got sidetracked about the stick. It started to rain heavily. It was about noon, and then the sky started to get really dark, and that's what made Alex panic. I thought we missed it, but we just kind of glossed over it.
Okay, we need to hurry up and get to the spoiler of what he actually saw, because we need to talk about how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah. It was Stone Cold. He's at the BSR. And he's going to knock one back for the working man. By the way, a special plug right now for Stone Cold Podcast. Give it a listen. It's the best thing on the internet.
He truly is an entertaining individual.
Oh my God.
Even his plugs, just listening to them are like, yes.
CougarLife.com. Get your alpha brain on. Okay. After a little while, we arrived at the creek we had crossed the previous day. Only it was flooded over and the water was moving too fast for us to cross it. Alex started to scream again, yelling at Mike for taking his time packing up the tent when we could have gotten out of here. This went on for a while until we finally convinced Alex to calm down and tell us what happened.
He said as soon as he put his face to the glass, a face on the other side did the same and started to smile really big. It started.
The lead singer from Warrant. He had a fresh cherry pie.
No, it was a face, and it was blowing raspberries. Just farting on the glass. It had dark eyes and a dark mouth. It was Justin Trudeau.
He was apologizing profusely while still applying more charcoal black to his face. I can't stop now.
Listen, I know I have a problem, he says as he rubs shoe polish all over himself. But I can get better. Please re-elect me. As the smile got as large as it could, a giant shadow behind it swung something down and shed its face off. The face was stuck to the window.
It was cancel culture. They had the photo. It was never going to end now.
No. And he said it started to laugh quietly as it slid down. Mike, still pissed off, and though he wouldn't admit it, beginning to freak out, started to argue with him again. Eventually started to follow the creek for a way to cross. So many things here. One, why did Alex not mention this until now?
He's too busy chewing holes in the side of his face.
It's ridiculous.
And he was a huge Justin Trudeau supporter, so seeing him in the act of applying blackface really left him freaked out.
Yes, for real. And maybe it's one of those things where it doesn't become relevant right now, and he's like 20 years later he's mentioning how he saw. It's like, listen, 20 years ago I was in a cabin in the woods and I saw a face and it cut itself off, or something cut it off. It's such a goofy idea. Secondly, how are you pressing the face against the glass? Because your face, if it's properly designed and not caved in, is rounded. And you can't just like
bones in there.
You can't just like smush it. You can't just like smush it all on there. Like that doesn't.
Are you sure? You should probably try again.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's working.
No, it doesn't work. You can't do that. That doesn't work. And then, the idea of like a severed head or like a severed face laughing, that's a good idea if done right. But then like Mike, still pissed off, though he wouldn't admit it, was starting to get freaked out. Yeah.
Why would you not admit you were freaked out by this point?
So this paragraph has like 50 things that doesn't make sense.
Your friend is doing the fucking scene in Mandy where he's going through every fucking emotion known to man in approximately 5 seconds while simultaneously chewing a fucking hole in the side of his face. And I'm not freaked out, you're freaked out.
No, Patrick. Wait, no. No, Patrick. Chewing off your face is not a personality trait.
Yeah, there's just so much going on here. None of it makes any fucking sense.
Maybe Squidward didn't commit suicide. Maybe he got he got a really nasty stone cold stunner.
Yeah, that'll happen. Anyhow, let's see, where the fuck are we? There you go. This is just a fucking warning against applying blackface. If you do it, someone's going to cut your face off. It will be stuck like that. And then 20 years later, everyone's going to know about it. Okay, let's see. We then started to see toys floating in the creek. Really old toys. Old Barbie dolls and baby dolls. This wasn't any old trash floating down the creek, though. This was a lot of Barbies. A lot of baby dolls. One washed towards the side and Mike picked it up. It had some kind of voice check that was dying, and it started to say gurgling words we couldn't understand, followed by a sad excuse for a laugh. Then it sounded like it was whispering. He thought the batteries must be dying. He threw it down. There's no eBay resale value in this.
No. We kept going, and the sun was starting to set. Alex was freaking out more now, and was whispering.
Though he wouldn't admit it.
It was whispering and breathing heavily. Yeah. We all started to see the shadows move behind trees. Something we called BS on until we were all seeing it. So it's like we all saw shadows, and we called.
That's bullshit.
But that's bullshit. But
yeah, you shadows don't move.
But then we all saw the shadows that we saw.
This is bullshit, isn't it? No, I think they're moving too. Yeah, they are moving, I guess. I take it back, as you were. It's not bullshit.
Nothing to worry about. There are monsters out there.
We're good.
It was barely light out, and we stopped as we see the cabin right in front of us. None of us know what to think. Mike says, "This is bullshit. I'm going in there."
No, but it turns out it was a cabin, so we took it back.
Alex tries to stop him. We all do. All of us just wanted to go home. Mike says to all of us to fuck off. Do our own thing. He doesn't care anymore. This is all bull. What character motivations are there? There's not a clear idea of what character motivations are here.
Who are these people? This is bullshit. Shadows don't move. Fucking bullshit. Cabins aren't in woods. That's bullshit too.
It also it's weird, the idea that they're going through here and they've only been out camping a day, but now they're like already lost, even though they're seasoned explorers. And they're like, if it's like impossible space, and it's like, we only like walked like 2 hours in and set up camp, and now we're lost. We don't get it. That would be one thing, but they're like not touching on it at all. They're like, we just don't know how to get out of here.
Yeah, it's like if you truncated the fucking Blair Witch Project into a 30-minute TV spot.
Or like a 30-second ad spot.
Yeah, it's just all flying by so fucking quick. But yeah, if they just thrown something in like, we only walked 2 hours in and it's 2 days later and we're still fucking here. Something like that,
Yeah.
But no, it's things escalating quickly, like being that Lost in the Desert story that we did earlier.
It'd be interesting is what if you see a cabin in the woods and it's surrounded by elm trees, but then like you can't find it again and it's gone, and it's like, but then you see it later and it's surrounded by sycamores, and it's like, okay, so this cabin straight moved. Is this the same cabin? This is the same cabin because blah blah blah, something along those lines.
Yeah, like they could be playing with this a lot more. Just the little fucking mindfuck details.
This story is so instructive on it's so bad in an interesting way that it's a good thing for people to read, because you see all of these ways. It's like, this story fucked up in this way and this way, and then you look at your own story and you're like, whatever fuck-ups you have in your own story, you're clear to see it here from an objective eye, so it'll help you in your own writing. That's why I love this story.
It's one of the things that frustrates me, because at its core, there's a lot of cool ideas here.
The baby doll thing is like the only bafflingly stupid thing. There's also another thing at the end that's like bafflingly out of place and stupid,
but you could play with this if we spent a bit more time establishing things, like things from the fucking cabin.
Patience,
right?
Patience is the biggest issue here.
It really is. They're throwing so much weird shit in. They're breaking down way too fast. One character sees Justin Trudeau and chews a hole in the side of his fucking mouth. I just don't fucking, if they just slowed down, let it breathe. For the love of fuck. This, again, I think I've said it in some of our other recordings. If you're writing a story, take a day before you post it. Read it again. Seriously. See if any of this shit you wrote makes any sense.
Yep.
I'm begging you. It's not just good advice. It's an earnest and heartfelt plea. Again, we mentioned Tom Waits earlier. I'm going to pull an outstanding fucking Tom Waits quote that plays into this fucking perfectly. The world is a hellish place, and bad writing is destroying the quality of our suffering.
Yep.
Yeah, just fucking think about it. Beg of you. Alright. Anyhow, you start to hear hundreds of the same sort baby doll as before, laughing, whispering, and trying to sing. Now that, again, like I said, there's cool stuff in here. If we set up something with the baby dolls earlier, that's a horrifying fucking mental image. the sound of that, because I can hear it in my head with their slowed down and dying little fucking voice chips. That's awesome. That'd be horrifying to hear that when you're lost in the fucking woods.
Hey, Ken, I'm happy you're home. How about I suck your
Alright. We start to move forward past the cabin, all of us, and we kept pushing forward. We smelled something dead in the air, something stale. It was this story. Got him! That's a wrap. Oh, you go back and use the same fucking line as before? You're getting the same fucking joke as before, motherfucker. It's only what you deserve. We kept on going. We eventually crossed the creek and left the woods. We get back to our vehicle and got in. It's pitch black and we drive. We're about to get on the 45 to Houston, but the road is under construction and can't be accessed. It points to a detour. As we head towards the detour, it seems to be a small, bumpy dirt road going into the woods.
And again, the story doesn't need to be endlessly long, but like getting out of the woods should be a bigger respite than it is. It's just like, and we made it out. You know?
Yeah, a moment to, all this is bullshit, this is all fucking bullshit moments and all that, That's kind of the stuff that can be saved for when you're in the clear.
Yeah. We see...
You should be just reflecting.
Yeah. We then see a young girl come up to us. She looks like she was in trouble. Young and pretty. She looked like she was in trouble.
Obvious warning signs.
She looked like she was in trouble, young and pretty. Sounds like a song. She was
in trouble, young and pretty. The time.
Yeah.
Those names are a dime a dozen.
She approaches the passenger's side door, and she looks like she's really drugged up or beaten. Alex doesn't roll down the windows, nor does he open the door. She reaches for the handle, and he immediately locks it. She puts her face on the window and starts to smile really big. Maybe they just have like a face on glass fetish.
Yeah.
The author does.
Put him on the glass, baby.
What? Your cheeks? And she like bends over.
Both.
No, not those cheeks.
No. Yeah, both.
The other ones.
At the same time.
How am I supposed to do that unless there's like a concave in the glass?
That sounds like a you problem, baby.
What's your ideal woman look like? One of like a chipmunk.
Minecraft skin.
We floor it. Alex starts to cry and scream, and we are all breathing heavy. We finally cut on a street and take us to the 45, and we take it the whole way. Ugh.
Where are they finding a street on the fucking dirt road back through the fucking woods?
The dirt highway. We then get back to my apartment. Everyone doesn't know what to say, and we all break apart and go our separate ways.
We hook a sharp left on Pinecone Lane there. Like, there should be something. Like, after all this, there should be no way they'd even entertain a thought of going down this fucking dirt road back into the fucking woods. I don't know, just they gloss over something that feels very fucking big.
Yep.
Anyhow, Mike messages me later and says he's going to come back. I try to convince him not to. And all he does is say it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. There's no cabin, and if there is, I'm going in because it's bullshit. Oh, let's say it was that our own minds were screwing with us. I think he wants to prove to himself that he wasn't scared. I can smell that stench everywhere now. In every paragraph, every sentence, every word. Got him. I don't go out anymore. I just stay in and don't answer the door.
So, like, the stench thing was forgotten for so long, and it's just such a, like... They just keep throwing creepy things in here that are, like, bog standard creepy things, last week, everyone I met was acting strange. People that I knew for a long time, and total strangers. My own dad, when I went to his place to eat supper with him, he just watched me strangely when I was sitting down. He didn't say a word the whole time. He just kept asking me, "What's wrong?" He just slowly shook his head. So, again, just a disconnected idea from the rest of anything. There needs to be rules in horror, and there's just no rules here.
Yeah, you have to set up the rules so that, you have you have your baseline normal. So when shit goes sideways, things have changed. It's just...
There should be one thing. There should be a cabin, and there should be a face getting severed in there. And that should be it. And you should take the time to pace around that. You don't need the baby dolls. The baby dolls don't serve any purpose. You don't need the weird people acting like none of that. Just a cabin, a little bit of a dash of impossible space, and then space getting severed. That's it.
You can even work the baby dolls in with the fucking cabin. In that, I spend a lot of time walking out through the fucking deserts, and I know you do your little nature trail hikes and shit like that too. You get out into the wilderness. If you come across like a fucking, I don't know how much off-trail stuff you do. I go out just hiking through deep desert where realistically nobody should ever be, and you find shit out there. One day I found a perfectly intact toilet.
I mean...
just sitting on a fucking sand dune.
Would you say nature called?
Yeah, nature calls. That's the joke I made to myself. I chuckled at how fucking witty I thought I was before walking back to my mundane life where I'm not funny and nobody likes me. But you'll find something out there. Like you'll find like a fucking baby doll out in the middle of this fucking trackless desert where you can't imagine anybody else ever having been. And it makes you, stop and wonder, how did this get here? That's fucking weird, right? And then as you keep walking, maybe you find 2 more, 3 more. They're strewn about in the fucking bushes. And then you see this weird fucking cabin that shouldn't be there for any fucking reason. You can work that in there. But they didn't. They didn't even try. They just went with, base creepy imagery. Maybe they saw it in a fucking movie or a fucking TV show. Because these things have an inherent creep factor to them. And that's it. They're just counting on that. You can work with these ideas, and that's what's so frustrating about this for me.
And this was just during a time when something like this could get groundswell, which was interesting. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. When I was leaving to go home, I turned away. He had black eyes and an open mouth like he was in pain.
Blech.
I waved goodbye to my Prime Minister father. When I started to walk back, he shut the door and bolted it. I knew he was going for the black face paint again. I couldn't stop him. I shut the door and bolted it. I stayed there knocking and knocking. Why? I don't know. I was leaving, and now I want back in. Nothing. I called him. He's like a human fucking cat, this guy. I called him. His phone was disconnected. I even called the police. Halfway through the questions they were asking me, the connection started to fade into static. I could hear a faint mumbling, singing, and laughing.
Mike was completely vanished. There is not even a record of him being alive. Ridiculous, nonsensical, no need for it.
Bullshit!
When I call Alex's house, they talk to me like I'm some salesperson. They say they don't know any Alex and to stop calling, please stop calling. The person who tells me that is Alex's mother. I can't get a hold of John. Someone knocked on my door, and when I went to look, I saw the face of a face completely covering the people, and a giant smile started to form. I call the cops again, and instead of it turning into static, they get really strange.
Sir, are you affected by any drugs at the moment? Yes.
No.
Several. Are you coming home anytime soon?
Excuse me?
Come home. The phone call ended, and the mail slot swings every now and then. Someone is sliding pieces of baby dolls through it. Oh, God. I try to call people now, and all I hear is static and bad baby doll noises. And this crying and screaming, my God, such noises. Oh, my TV is busted, but when I go to piss, I can hear it on. I might be going insane.
Whoever lives above me started to scream in pain and crying deeply recently. I hear giant footsteps from their apartment, and I hear bangs and something falling to the ground. From the neighbors to my right of my apartment, I hear what sounds like a baby doll that never gets tended to, and then it sounds like a baby doll whose batteries are dying.
Oh, you see, if we had set something up, some time in the cabin, you have these repeated things that you have the fucking smile, you have the fucking baby doll, you have these things that could tell a story, that your mind could form a story around if you bothered to plant a few fucking clues. But they didn't bother.
No, because there was no, idea behind this. It's all just creepy for creepy's sake.
It's just creep for fucking creep's sake. My phone has been ringing now, and it's Alex, telling me things in a language I have never heard before, nor could even manage to repeat. I keep getting emails of pictures of black and small colorations. What? Keep getting emails of... I know what all these words mean individually. I swear I do. But together, in this configuration... What the fuck? I kept getting emails of pictures of black and small colorations. Now I can't even access my email. It's just pictures of Justin Trudeau. So, someone knocks on the door, then they slam against it. I hear the bolts unlocking one by one, and I run to make sure to lock them all back. Then I sit down and begin to think. Oh god, maybe they did reread their story.
Unknown author. So let's reread this. I went camping about 3 weekends ago in Huntsville.
No more.
It's just
no more.
It's just the most mundane opening of hey, so I went camping at Huntsville National Forest. Yeah. Hey, anyway, moving on.
I can't access my emails, but I can post this story.
Yep, I think we've said everything we need to say about that. But
anything more is just screaming and crying and punching holes in the fucking walls.
Who put this 1994 Ford Pinto in front of us?